Welcome to this edition of Geek Culture Unboxing. I am Lou and this is
Diego.
And we're here to talk to you today about PCS's 1/3 scale Mileena from Mortal Kombat X. First though, let's give a big thanks to John Paul and Mileena Mendoza for making this unboxing possible. Thanks guys. All right, so you've already seen the 360, you've already seen the packaging, you've already seen the styrofoam insert. So this is number 104 of a very limited 300. And as I was telling Diego and John before we started filming, is that some of these production companies are actually going to start reducing the number of edition sizes. I heard that they're going to go by pre-orders. So if only 300 pre-orders go through, and they were going to do a thousand run.
They're just going to stop at 300.
Yeah, they're going to do the 300. They'll do a buffer for any breakages, damage, or exchange, and that's it. So you geeks really need to pay attention and get in on the pre-order so that you can make sure that you acquire it, because it's not going to be the same like it used to be, where you could go 6 months later or a year later and be like, you know what, I'm going to buy that statue. By them reducing the edition size, it's going to make things more expensive, which is not exactly something that's good for the culture.
And what another question is, because Imaginarium does it, again, when it's sold out, all of a sudden they reissue it.
Well, that was something unique.
Yeah, and then they up the price from the original price. So
well, that's not culture.
Yeah,
we'll have to address that on one of our Geek Culture Lives. There's a lot I want to talk about the collectible industry, but we'll do that on a Geek Culture Live. So again, we have the 1/3 Mileena, and as you saw in the 360, she also comes with her exclusive head and exclusive size with the blood on it. And we were just discussing that before we went live, and we were saying it would have been a lot cooler if her left side or right side, I'm sorry, came with a little heart.
Like a heart, or maybe, someone's head.
Well, we went with the head, but the problem that you run into is it's magnetized, and a head on there would add too much weight, and then you're looking at a breakage issue, where just a little heart should be just enough to add that extra gore effect. Yeah. But it would also draw a closer relation to her fatality.
Yes.
In which any Mortal Kombat fan wants. And we know you guys are excited about Mortal Kombat 11 coming out in April next year. I know I am. So let's talk to you about the overall piece. Diego, what was your score on the sculpt?
Well, for me, I'm going to give it a 4. Okay. I mean, when you first see it, you're so glued to her legs. Again, I do love the back. I love, I just love that pose. But man, what really sold it for me again, the legs are proportionate, the calves are proportionate, and again, the boots just accentuate, I guess, her bottom.
Her strong legs.
Yeah, her strong legs and her bottom. You know what? And to every man that is a fan of Mileena, and just a really fan, and for those people who just love, sculpting women, I mean, this is just spot on. Again, we'll get into other little flaws but again, this was almost spot on.
The sculpt is very well. PCS did an amazing job capturing the female form, front and back. They've got nice shadowing or shading on the muscle areas, so you get the side boob, you get the obliques and the back muscles here. They did a very good job at that. So I too give it a 4 on sculpt. What do you give it compared to, do you like this costume, or do you remember the Mortal Kombat 2 costume where it was primarily like all purple and black? Do you like this more modern look, or do you prefer the classic?
No, I love the more modern look.
Okay.
Yeah, because the thing is, again, I'm more into that. Okay, if there was a female fighter, would they be in that old, I guess, traditional uniform? But this is more like, I guess, tactical, or more, she should be more modern, what she would be wearing in the streets.
Okay.
Or if not, be comfortable for a fight.
Okay.
And I love that look.
And then as you can see in the video, this is the only medium that's in there. Everything else is resin.
Yes.
The size almost feel like they're metal. Oh, it is metal.
They may, yeah.
This one's metal. This one's metal.
It's a chain metal as well. Right?
Is it?
No, it's plastic.
It's plastic?
It's plastic.
And let me take this out to see. Huh? The sides are metal. Hey, that gives you a leg up, PCS.
Yes.
As I've said in previous reviews, I always like it when there's a premium to my collectible, and that is cool. So thumbs up for PCS on that.
No.
All right, so how about on paint, Diego?
Paint. Okay. That's where I found some flaws. I'm gonna give it I'm gonna give it a 4 again. That's where I'm gonna give it again. I'm very particular when it comes to paint. And the thing is, if you ever look at the boots, you can see some blemishes right here where the purple goes into the black. Also, down here on the heels, I could have seen the heels. Again, when you go to stores, you see these heels more glossy. But again, she's a fighter, so maybe they're not as glossy. But again, you can see some of the paint going into the black. That's where I was catching some of the blemishes. But I think that takes a part of the scope as well, because I would have loved to see the boots again apart from the pants. And what I mean by that, folks, is that here you can see on I guess on her gauntlets, and then also her, I guess her
chest piece.
Yeah, I won't say her chest piece, but what is it? A bra strap, so to say. I guess for the lack of a better word, you can see the difference. Even though it's one whole sculpt, you can see the depth. Here it seems like it's one leg. It's the pants, and then you could
differentiate.
Yeah, you could differentiate between the boot, but I think it would stand out just a little bit more.
The sculpt is very shallow here, where everywhere else there's depth in the sculpt.
But again, I'm only nitpicking. It's like I'm nitpicking. I'm not. If it had some depth, I would have given it a 4. I mean, I would have given it a 5, but I'm gonna give it a 4.
Okay. Well, I agree with Diego on the painting. Out of a 5, this is a 4. He mentioned there was a black paint scuffs down here. We're not going to turn it around to show you because we have it plugged in. And then you have some of the paint that bleeds over into the back. And of course, I'm on the forums. I read the collector's feedback, and I know how picky they are about it. And so, there's paint scuffs that came right out of the package. There's one over here. There's some on her midsection and on the other side. So because of those little scuffs, those little blemishes.
Yeah, those little blemishes.
I give it a 4 out of a 5.
And again, folks, I mean, these are just small blemishes. And again, like there are some artists who can actually see that, and they're very particular. And for that reason, we're going to give it a 4. I'm going to give it a 4.
Well, I give it a 4 too, Diego. And then so the other thing is that I also recently heard, we're waiting to see, is that PCS is actually talking about going the Prime 1 route, where Prime 1 puts the silk inside instead of paper.
Yes.
So we'll see if that does it. Yeah. Because the feedback that I gave, I said, well, that's great. I like that.
What is that, because paper scratches or what?
I'm thinking so. They didn't give a reason. They just said, hey, we're going to go to fabric insert. Okay. And I was like, that's cool. What I asked for is for it to be tailored to each piece, tailored to the piece. I don't like
that. Would be cool. That would be actually.
I don't like how Prime 1, it's just a cut out piece of fabric
and just thrown in there.
I don't like that. So.
And then when you go back and try to wrap it yourself,
it's all over the place.
It's all over the place.
So, but if it's tapered to fit, it just goes. My piece goes right in there,
yes,
and then we're
exactly.
good.
Yes.
So that's on the paint. Let's see. As a presence, we both agree it has its presence.
It has its presence. And again, when we put it out, I guess when we displayed it for ourselves, man, again, it's just the legs. I guess the female sculpture, it just had that presence.
Just those strong, powerful legs, but the fact that she's got her shoulders back and she's got that look in her eye and her size already, so it definitely has presence. she's ready for that fight. Yep. Or not, she's done with it. After her fatality. Definitely has presence. We had gone back and forth. Should have been another pose. We like the idea of the crossbody pose. That's a classic pose for her, or maybe a one side in front and one side in back. But out of those 3 poses that we went over, this one fit the best. So we give thumbs up for PCS on.
It just needed that one, maybe heart, or it would have been better. What would have been awesome if this light had come all the way over here and the heart would have lit up.
Oh, that it transferred through the statue.
Yes.
Through the,
but that's a lot of work, though.
That's a lot of work, though. But and then you guys did see in the video that the base does illuminate. Now, it's not very bright. If you have it set in a dim room or something, it's going to really stand out. But in an illuminated room, you're not going to really see the difference. We have it on right now. John's recording close. And then that's what it looks like off. So on, off. So it's got a little bit, but in a darker room, it looks a lot better. A lot better. As for her exclusive head, I mean, I like it. I was never a fan of her incisors, her extra incisors, but I definitely do like her serpent style eyes. I I always enjoy when the sculptors can do that depth detail and they get the teeth and the tongue, and it's just amazing what sculptors can do these days. And then the hair's got texture. One thing we were talking about on that before we went to camera is that Sideshow Collectibles, for their Wonder Woman piece, actually did a PVC hair that went on Wonder Woman. And I like that because that reduces the breakage. And as you saw when we just did the close-up, yes, our item did come in busted from Sideshow, so I've got to get with them and get a replacement. But that's why we're saying if the hair pieces were actually made out of PVC,
yes,
there's less of a chance of it breaking than with an actual resin. So no points really taken off for that. Anything in closing, Diego?
No. Again, I would have preferred maybe it come with different arms. That way we could probably get a different pose. Like maybe the cross, as she's known for those cross sides, or if you want to do that. I mean, but again, that's just nitpicking, guys. And this is a great figure. Good job. Again, we're gonna give it an overall rating of 4. It could have been. There's little things that could have been better, but again, it's only nitpicking. It's a great piece to have. We hope that for some of y'all that will see this unboxing, we hope that you you may buy it.
So out of for $700 at 1/3 scale, what do you think about that?
The pricing?
Pricing and the size. We're talking the scale because
Okay.
we're usually quarter scale collectors.
Yes.
So
okay, well, for the price, I think it's a little much.
Really, $700 for 1/3?
For 1/3, I would say maybe the $500, $600 range.
Okay, well let me give you this comparison. Prime 1 primarily produces in 1/3, and you have Prime 1 pieces, and those prices are anywhere from $1,000 to $1,600 for 1/3.
Well, again, remember, I'm dealing with Transformers, and again, there's little intricate pieces there, which I see, and not only that, the paint job is so glossy. There's every little minute detail, and that's what I look for. Okay, the price does match the.
That's what validates that price for you?
That's what validates the price.
I know you're primarily Transformers, but I'm actually looking at like their Batman line is huge. They've done just 1/3 across the board on Batman, and those are anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500. Here we have PCS, who has a very reasonable $700 for a 1/3 scale piece. So that's what I'm asking. You're saying $700 is too high.
I would say 500, 600. Somewhere in that range.
Okay.
Again, I'm looking at how difficult was it to put it together, the intricate pieces. This wasn't that. It wasn't all that intricate. There was only maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A total maybe 7. How many? Maybe a total of 10 pieces.
1, 2, 3, 4, and the base.
Base, maybe about 10 pieces put together, and we put it in. We put it together in less than 5. Not even 5 minutes.
Yeah, not even 5 minutes.
It wasn't hard to put together to where my
some
pieces.
of the Prime ones have been very intricate.
Yeah,
very intricate. Well, for me, $700 for 1/3 piece. Looking at the entire market, I think it's a reasonable price. As I've said in the video, some of the things that PCS can improve on, we definitely like the metal size. Please keep that up. Anything that's a metal weapon or anything that can be metal on a statue, please go with metal. PVC for the hair or possible breakable items. And then, of course, try to get the fatality and the illumination. I love when something lights up.
And again, when speaking about lighting up, be very careful in lighting this thing up. What was it that we have to do?
Make sure that it is clicked. Well, I mean, you don't know that it's off.
Yes.
But they're saying the packaging says make sure that it's off before you plug it in. We're just relaying the message.
It may short circuit. That's probably why, and then you won't ever see this thing light up. So again, make sure that it's off before you plug it in.
So, well, for this edition of Geek Culture Unboxing, we'll see you geeks next time.
Mileena wins.